Hello again, everybody. Doc Bass coming back to you with another bass fishing tip. This time giving you something to think about relative to how to possibly locate a few more bass, both relative to the quantities and size of those fish, as the bass make their transition from their spawn, which happens to be occurring here in northern Missouri and throughout parts of the Midwest right now, and enter their post-spawn period before they make their ultimate transition into their summertime patterns and haunts. And for those of you that are close to bodies of water, reservoirs, construct in an environment like this where there's a lot of old road networks that were historically present in the area in order to help facilitate former land use in these inundated regions, mainly agriculture. Keying in on those structures, those types of cover, those old road beds can be a great place to go in and locate some of those fish as they're making their post-spawn transition. Possibly not right after they come off the bed and are in that initial stage of recuperation, but as they start to wander out and start to feed more, those old road beds can be excellent places to go in and locate these fish. Okay, this lake, Lake Mazingo, just outside Maryville in northwestern Missouri, about 1,000 acres in size, just over 1,000 acres. Finished construction in the early 1990s, reached full pool by the mid-1990s. It's a phenomenal bass fishery, and as I said, right now, the bass should be pretty much in full spawning mode. We have a full moon tomorrow night. Temperatures are prime. This should be it. But here over the next week or so, definitely over the next 10 days to 14 days, a lot of those fish are going to be in the post-spawn mode. And so, where can we actually go to think about possibly getting a few more of those fish? And like I said, you want to key in on the road beds. For those of you, okay, first of all, this is Google Earth, an image looking at the lake. Here is Lake Mazingo. Down here we have most of the facilities that are associated with the city recreational area. The city of Maryville operates the facility here at Mazingo. There's 3 different boat ramps for those of you unfamiliar with the area. There's the largest ramp down here on the southern side of the lake, which oftentimes referred to as the state ramp or the main ramp. There's another smaller ramp that's operated here by the city. It's called the city ramp, a little bit further north of there. If we go even further north, up here, almost to the end of the reservoir, there's a 3rd paved ramp. All great places to launch your boat. For those of you visiting Mazingo, you do need a city permit in order to do that. Just keep that in mind. But the other thing I want to point out here, and we'll start here at the north and then work our way south, you notice we have an old roadway that used to come right across the lake. So there's one of these places where one of those road beds is present. Here's another area, old road bed coming across, now inundated, but a great place to think about where some of those fish that might have been spawning in these areas might be filtering down through into their deeper water haunts. And one of the primary ones is right here at the city ramp. I mean, here's an old roadway that came down here and actually cut a little bit south and then went across the lake. But right here off the ramp area is a place where that old roadbed is there. And I can tell you from personal experience that I have done quite well there this time of year. That's one of the problems with Google Earth. It likes to tilt everything into 3D. But right here off that ramp area, either from shore or from a boat, as fish that were spawning in this region used that to make their deeper water transitions to some of the old brush piles that are out here in the main channel region. So if you live in one of these areas where you have old reservoirs, what you want to do is get out Google Earth, get out old topographic maps, whatever you have at hand, and try to locate those places where those old road beds are located. Because again, those are one of those places where, as the fish are making the transition after post-spawn, they use those pathways to go into the deeper water areas for their summertime haunts. It can be a great place to catch more and better bass during the post-spawn season. That's it for now. We'll be back at you later. Hope you enjoyed that bass tip.